Hello everybody, and Just here, and welcome back to Symphogear AXZ episode 12. Not the finale, because it has 13 episodes, but the penultimate episode is ahead of us today. And interesting things are going to be happening, for sure. Because in the previous episode, Adam kind of sort of succeeded, mostly, for the most part or the lesser part. For a part, he did succeed. He did manage to open the belt of Orion, the gates of Orion, or whatever it's called, and he did manage to imbue something with the power of the gods. It wasn't Tiki, though. Tiki got destroyed, but he imbued his own arm with it, or tried to. No, wait. I got the order of events wrong. Yeah, he did summon the divine power that did gather around Tiki and created this big, monstrous deity kaiju kind of looking thing. And then it was defeated, kind of, sorta. It got dissolved into like cloud of spiritual power or whatever. Tiki was already destroyed. Adam tried to gather that power of divinity in his severed arm, but it didn't go to his severed arm. It went straight for Hibiki. It's the second time that Aoyuki's character has become a god, and every time Aoyuki stars in some anime, I'm now just gonna be looking to any possible routes that can lead to her becoming a deity. I guess it's just gonna be a little mind game of mine. I wonder if she's gonna become a god with her role in Gundam. Probably not. But yeah, she did turn into some sort of a chrysalis so far. We don't know for sure what's going on there. Is she gonna turn into a god? Is she gonna turn into a demon? Is she gonna turn into a whole different kind of a being? That remains to be seen, but that chrysalis will open eventually, and something is going to emerge out of it. Hibiki, of course, gathering all this power was very strange, very unusual, because apparently it's only the purest things and purest people that can attain divinity, and humans, as humans, are marred with the original sin, Hibiki notwithstanding. So, why did the power gather around her? I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Maybe she's been christened, and that wiped out the original sin. Maybe she was born through C-section, and that somehow makes her not have it or something. I've no clue what explanation they're gonna pull, but it's gonna be interesting. Perhaps merging with Gangnir and then being purified with the mirror power, somehow purified her of her sin as well. I guess that could be another explanation. Yeah, the sin could have purified her. The sin, the attack of the mirror relic that Miku used in that one episode might have been what purified her, or it might have been being merged with Gangnir. From what we can gather, kinda sorta, Gangnir is also the Spear of Longinus, the spear that was used to stab Jesus as he was hanging on the cross. Was it the same spear? Was the properties of Spear of Longinus associated somehow with Gangnir over the years? The Roman legionnaire somehow come into possession of Gangnir, and then it was renamed to Spear of Longinus. We don't know that, at least not yet. But I guess if she had a bit of like a holy relic inside of her, that might have purified the sin. I don't know. I I honestly have absolutely no clue where it's going, what's gonna happen, and it's kind of sort of exciting to not know what's going to come. Anything else that needs to be mentioned? Uh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Kirika is fine now, and it's just the issues with Hibiki. Oh, right, one more thing. Whatchamacallit? Adam is a robot. He's an autoscorer of some sort of an automaton that was created by most probably the custodians, but he was deemed too perfect, so he was left to his own devices instead of being destroyed or something. An odd choice by a supposedly superior and deified race of aliens, but hey, maybe they have their own, I don't know, system of beliefs or something. We'll see about that. Maybe it's gonna get resolved somehow. Maybe it's not gonna. Again, we'll see. I'm most curious what's going to happen to Hibiki. Is she gonna become a god and start rampaging? Is she gonna become a god and be like, benevolent to everybody? She's gonna heal everyone and uh, burn Adam in a holy fire. Is she gonna be completely unconscious and it's just gonna be a shell of a god built around her, kind of like Tiki stuck in the crystal in the deity that Adam summoned? Is she gonna turn into a whatchamacallit, custodian? Fuck if I know. Is she gonna emerge as Jesus Christ himself? Wouldn't surprise me at this point. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But to see that, of course, you will need your subs to follow along. I will need my sound to hear what's going on. And I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon Throne links in the description below. Or if you don't want to spend any money, share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps the channel. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 12 of Symphogear AXZ in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, last time on Dragon Ball Z. I love this track. The chorus. Good question in it. Episode 12 Axes. How? Okay, it's beating. That's another very good question, actually. Is she just straight up not a human? Okay, everything's prepared for Biki's birthday. Okay, so just nothing's happening to it. Oh, not eating soba anymore? I mean, it's not likely that a nuke is going to affect a god, so. Okay, so we need to figure out what's going on and how to proceed. And fast. Hmm. Right. When you wield the power of deicide, it will be fairly hard to turn into a god, right? Miku! They're gonna play Miku's voice or something in hopes of awakening her? Linker? Inject Hibiki with anti-linker? I guess. Okay, so if you lower Hibiki's compatibility, then yeah, it's just gonna spit her out because she's no longer a suitable vessel. Not yet. Or maybe. We're gonna hella drop you on top, and you're gonna be talking to Hibiki or something, probably. And of course, there's Saint-Germain as well. That's also true. That's also true. Well, shit. Here comes the grandpa. Fuck you, grandpa. Unlikely you'll succeed. Unlikely they will succeed. They will burn Japan, but the heart will just remain unscathed. Let's be honest here. And fuck you, grandpa. Yes! Yes! Precisely. Fuck your blood, fuck your legacy, fuck your family. No, the fuck it won't. Time to go rogue. Yeah, very much so. You probably don't want it to crack open, actually. You probably don't want whatever's inside to come out. Yeah. Is it gonna be a Mega Biki? It's just Hibiki but scaled up? Close enough. Okay, so it's like the divine weapon. I'm assuming Hibiki is in the chest area. Alternatively, it is Hibiki. Yes. Yes, they did. You done fucked up. Okay, she was able to stop it without Zeshul, though, so I guess already better than what Kirika was able to manage. Yeah, you have no choice now. Oh, hello, Saint-Germain. Sure, whatever you say. And there's 6 of them. No sound to her shots? Is that an oversight? Okay, pin her down. For how long? Not particularly. A net of some sort you're making? A duct tape? You're just. Okay, it's just a magical duct tape. Okay, apparently that's something they can do. Is it gonna be enough? Shooting some sort of linker projectiles? Anti-linker projectiles? No. What are those? Okay, those are anti-linker things. That's a lot. Ooh, that jiggle. That jiggle, though. I mean, we know conventional weapons don't do shit, so. And it probably is just gonna make her more angry. So. Okay, what's going on? Blue flames. Yeah, what's the blue fire, though? Hmm. Okay. So she turns anti-linker into linker, essentially. Miku the goat. Yeah, that's all that was needed. Oh, I guess because Hibiki is no longer, like, separated from the god and being on the inside of the god, but like becomes the part of it. So whatever the god hears, so does Hibiki, and it gives her more control over this new divine body. Kind of sort of deal. I guess it makes sense. It does make sense. Not just in front of them. Okay, what's gonna go tits up now? Nuke? No. Okay. Maybe nothing's gonna go tits up. Color me surprised. And the divine power comes back to whence it came. And Hibiki just falls out. Okay. Problem solved. Get the UN out of here. Okay. So, a good ending. And yeah, that also establishes. There was a mention of noodles that I kinda missed. But yeah, it also establishes S.O.N.G as extremely fucking competent on the world arena, and yet someone still fired a nuke. I guess they really want to nuke Japan for the third time. What? Shoot it down with Ergetlam or something? Or yeah? I mean, the same thing's gonna happen if it hits. So. Okay, sacrifice. What you doing? You gonna transmute the uranium into lead or something? Okay, we get Saint-Germain's song. And Cagliostros. And Prelatis. I already know what I can expect from the concert. That's a comfortable piece of rubble. And the alchemical trio. Somehow. Back from the dead. Oh, okay. Okay. I guess it now makes sense why Cagliostro would do what she did. Enchanted bullet. That's going to do what exactly? Transmute the whole projectile into gold? That's some cool effects. No, it just detonated the nuke. But contained the explosion. No, it won't. It's contained. It gets transmuted into gold, isn't it? Basically, yeah. Okay, so we have a brand new trio join us at S.O.N.G. Have the rest help them? Like an Ergetlam shield or something? Okay, so it is a sacrifice after all. And there goes the nuclear fallout. Irradiated gold flakes. Oh, and all of them just vanish. Okay. I can't begin to think why would this be the case, but I guess they just dissolved into thin air. Okay, so Adam is going to be the final boss after all. Literally. Okay, I was wondering for a moment what the finale is gonna be, but now we have the answer. Tiki saves the day. Datoś temo. Okay, is she gonna destroy it or is she gonna merge with it? Destruction it is. Okay. So let me repeat the question, what the finale is gonna be. No, really, what's gonna be the finale? Did I was it episode 13 by mistake? No, episode 12. Oh, we still have an after credits scene. Okay, makes sense. Hmm. Top peg anime. What could the finale be? Legit. I have no clue. Just dealing with the fallout. Not really a climax of this series, because the climax of this series happened now, and episode 13 is just gonna be winding down a little bit. I'm gonna be able to tell more after watching the after credits scene. Or is it episode 13 the same way? The Excusez-moi, there's nothing after credits. Okay. Sure. That makes me mighty suspicious about episode 13. But right now, I guess we should watch episode 12 again, shall we? Hmm. What could that ending mean for episode 13? Okay, let's go through it, and when we get to the end, I'm gonna think about the end. Yeah, last time on Dragon Ball Z, Adam fucks off. Should have probably stopped him there, Saint-Germain. Should have probably shot him in the back or something. But the alchemists aren't known for making the best decisions, so. Eh. Happy birthday, Hibiki. September 13th. Okay. Deployment of nuclear arms. Of course, the US wants to drop a nuke on Japan for the third time. Why wouldn't they? Maybe they're hoping we're gonna get, I don't know, Hentai 2.0 after they nuke them for the third time or something. Uh, yeah, the US government has an awfully short fuse. Indeed, they do. So, you need results and you need them fast. Anti-linker. And yeah, if we can lower the... it makes sense, this plan, that if we lower Hibiki's, like, susceptibility to house third-party power inside of her, be it Symphogear or God, then the God is going to reject her, maybe. Makes sense. A bit of a stab in the dark, but makes sense. Needs a vessel, indeed. Uh, the relics are back in operation. I'm gonna be honest, it's still unclear to me how exactly did they get contaminated or something. When did that happen? How did it happen? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I I don't know. I probably completely missed it. But hey, I'm glad they are ready for service again. Miku being their trump card, of course. Unlimited use of armed force. Yeah, Grandpa just being a shit, of course. I will not stray from the path I have chosen. Oh, that's great. Another bit of praise for the subs. As his video is shrinking vertically, so are the subs. That's a great touch. And yeah, of course, the grandpa is hot-headed and shelling the cocoon, shelling the chrysalis on the hastened the emergence of Hibigi. Forgive the pun. And of course, it's a deity of some description. You've already seen what a similar deity was able to do. What makes you believe that a couple of flimsy tanks stand a chance to Hibiki's god form? Grandpa is completely out of his mind. Like, why the fuck does anybody even listen to him? Just put him in a home. And when he talks about the years of his greatness, just pat him on the back and say, "Yes, yes, Grandpa, now take your medicine." Like, it's time. It's honestly time to put him in a home. And the insane power has Hibiki written all over it. It does, very much so, and yet Maria was able to stop it with Ergetlam. Meanwhile, Kirika needed a whole ass spurred song and a whole bunch of linker to stop Tiki's blast. And yeah, she's not helping them, or rather, she's not with them, but she's helping them. Yeah, I'm not here to help you, but I will fight. Makes sense, I guess. And it's useful to have someone like that, right? It's not like the S.O.N.G people can go against the Japanese military and attack their tanks, but for all intents and purposes, she's an outsider. She doesn't belong to any faction. She's not Japanese. She's not of the UN. She's just a freelancer that happened to come by and really wanted to cut up those tanks. Makes for a perfect excuse. Shadow weaving, not gonna work. Thankfully, magical duct tape does. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We've seen them use their Symphogears to turn into the undercarriage of a plane, to turn into a jet plane, for some fucking feet docking. Why does it surprise me that Maria can turn Ergetlam into a translucent duct tape? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But but I am yet again amazed at the sheer imaginativeness of it all. Anti-linker shots. I was wondering, why do they have cables? I'm assuming it is to trigger the injection. Maybe. Maybe to pump more anti-linker or something. I don't know. They seem to be filled with anti-linker. They attach and release some suction cup or something. Okay. And they pump her full of anti-linker. Also interesting how they managed to uh, develop and think of and create huge ass guided jet powered syringes in the span of like a day tops. Damn, 3D printing is nice, isn't it? And this is just peak. First of all, an ass shot completely out of nowhere, and then the bounce and the jiggle. The bounce and the jiggle. Okay, show it to me once more. I want to see it in full again. The indentation they leave and the jiggle. Symphogear doesn't do fan service often, but when it does do fan service, it's top notch. Yeah, everything comes down to what happens to Hibiki. Hibiki starts burning blue for some reason, rips the duct tape, and is all powerful, or rather, grows even more powerful. A defense mechanism altering underlying principles of anti-linker in real time makes sense. Divinity, alchemy. It makes sense that a god would be able to do some alchemical shenanigans and turn anti-linker into linker or to neutralize it. Makes perfect sense. And now time for Miku to scream. Now that the increased link coefficient has caused the fusion to progress, this though seems like kinda sort an asshole. Not gonna lie. This is a cool shot. With like a bit of a dolly zoom. Yeah, this seems like a little bit of an asshole. That, haha, we actually intended for her to turn the anti-linker into linker. It's all according to Keikaku. I don't know. On one hand, I guess it kinda sorta makes sense, right? It's like a backup plan, contingency plan. If we can inject her with anti-linker and nothing happens to it, then the god is just gonna spit her out and she's gonna be safe, mission accomplished. Or if she turns that anti-linker into linker, she's gonna fuse better and she's gonna be able to hear Miku and she's gonna burst herself out of it. And cool, mission accomplished. So I guess it makes sense in retrospect, but ahead of time, did they really have any sort of basis for any of those decisions? Like, okay, makes sense that a deity needs a vessel and there needs to be some compatibility, so it makes sense that injecting with anti-linker could help. But okay, I guess it also makes sense that if you inject her with linker instead, the link coefficient is going to progress and she's gonna fuse better and she might even be reasoned with. Because it's not going to be Hibiki, the vessel, trapped inside of a rampaging body of a god, the way Tiki was, the way Hibiki is right now, but rather it's going to be one and the same creature, one and the same thing. So whatever you say to them, it's gonna be Hibiki in the form of a god, but still Hibiki. No longer just trapped in a void somewhere in the middle of the body. So it makes sense. But how did they know that if the anti-linker doesn't work on the god, it's gonna be because it turns the anti-linker into linker? What if Hibiki just neutralized it, turned it into water, alchemicked it into saline solution, right? Did you have a plan for that? How did you think that it's like an inherent power of divinity to turn one thing into other? Seems kind of baseless, but maybe I'm looking too deep into that. Hmm. Miku's voice converted into electrical signals is bound to reach the vessel Hibiki. Are they sending Miku's voice directly through those electrodes? Maybe. Maybe that's what the cables are for. I haven't seen any speakers or anything set up. And of course, Miku's voice works. If there's anything that works on Hibiki whenever she rampages or does whatever, it's gonna be Hibiki. It's gonna be Miku. And she breaks out. The body gets dissolved. Everybody congratulates each other. Along with Vice Minister Shibata's expertise in noodles. Okay, yeah, I guess he was useful. Kinda, sorta. And of course, oh no, the Americans. The decadence, a golf course, a little white house. Reminds me very much of that classic, like, wooden white house in America. Princess Principal is the very first thing that comes to mind, where they want to, well, one of them wants to escape to a house just like this, perhaps smaller though. Our country is built on freedoms originating from an age of true divinity. Huh. For a moment, I thought he was grilling, that it's a grill, and he has a nuclear button just mounted to his grill, and he was just throwing a barbecue party and decided, fuck it, let's nuke Japan. Who wants some more ribs? But no, it wasn't quite this, like, over the top. May this strike open the way to a brave new world of mankind built by mankind for mankind. What? 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 Is it like some misguided attempt at freeing humanity from the shackles of the custodians and of gods? Here's a god on earth, so let's nuke that god. But there are more, though. It's been proven that a god can be brought onto the earth, and that different vessels can be injected with gods, and that there are gods out there. So what does nuking Japan and killing a singular god do? Nothing. Is the goal to nuke that place and also get rid of S.O.N.G? Because he somehow doesn't like Symphogear existing. I don't know. Wasn't Symphogear an invention of mankind, though? It wasn't like given to them by aliens or custodians or whatever. It was human ingenuity. Is it because there exists only one God, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ Himself, so we should nuke every other God? But then what he says here doesn't make any sense. I genuinely cannot make heads or tails of his actions. I've got nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. I have no clue why he did it. I have no clue what he's talking about. I'm at a loss. I'm genuinely at a complete and utter loss. You can't. If it ends up detonating up there, the shockwave will devastate the area. Well, it doesn't have to detonate up there. Use Ergetlam to surround it with a shield, and then just nudge it upwards so it flies off into space. Latch onto it and fly it into space. Shadow weave it in place so it doesn't fly anywhere. Connect the power of your Symphogears to create a big fan and spin it so that it blows all the contamination into space. I'm not getting this resolution much, I'll be honest. The fact that Saint-Germain wants to act, that's great. I like it. It's a bit of a redemption arc. I love the song. She starts singing, and then suddenly all the others also appear. That's some great song, that's some great singing. I thought this is very like not literal, that oh, the souls of my fallen brethren are here with me at the last moments, this kind of a deal. But apparently not. Apparently Cagliostro faked her own death, which makes sense. It makes sense why Cagliostro would act this irrationally. The thinking was, oh, I'm gonna go fight against the Symphogear users. Me losing to them makes sense. It is within the realm of possibility. So I'm just gonna pretend I lose to them, that I get vaporized, and I'm just gonna crack the vial or something, and I'm gonna teleport myself somewhere else. Makes sense. Makes sense. But only in retrospect. Yeah, there's the portal. She teleported out. Cagliostro saving Prelati, I guess also makes sense. And then there's Prelati working on some bullet. I don't know what that deal is. I have no clue what's the deal with this bullet. Why did she prepare it? When did she prepare it? How did she prepare it? Was it made as a bullet for the Lord Master? As in something that he can be reliably killed with? I don't know. Shooting this projectile, I was under the impression, because it has the golden trail and it's an alchemical projectile, I really thought it's just going to turn the nuke into gold, which is something that alchemy should be able to do. Or if not the nuke, then at least turn uranium into some other thing, right? Like, you're alchemists, aren't you? So, but no, instead you detonated it and you contained the explosion somehow. I don't know how. With the power of S.O.N.G, even though S.O.N.G doesn't do anything for alchemy. Because there's alchemy and there's Symphogear. Alchemy is its own thing. Symphogear is its own thing. And it needs songs. Alchemy doesn't need songs. I guess Carol also did sing, so maybe alchemy gets stronger if you sing. I don't know. We didn't join hands. Yeah, okay. I will entrust it with the Sash of Hope. Oh, yeah. A suicide song, essentially. Then I want to sketch the days my friends and I wished for, now as we close our eyes, becoming a miracle, overflowing like the tears we could never shed. As they are crucified, we expose all creation, lay the world open like a book, but it's the only way I can reach out with this arrogant fist. I'll carry the world through the night by lighting the way. I guess she's using her very existence to power whatever's happening right now. And that's why they later vanish. And yeah, the nuke was vaporized, and now the three of them also vanish. Like, don't get me wrong, sure, it's a poetic moment of last like bit of sacrifice, and all three of them get a little bit of a redemption arc, a redemption through sacrifice, but my feelings of I don't even know what. The same feeling I got when Cagliostro and Prelati were killed, supposedly, right? That it's a waste. Because they're cool characters and they could be helpful and they ultimately want good for the world, and they were killed for little to no reason, just in a very, very stupid way. Kinda left a bad taste in my mouth. This is kind of compounding that because they came back from the dead with a little bit of a retrospective aspo. Makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, the fact that what Cagliostro did and the way Prelati was also saved, it all makes sense. Make no mistake. But they were brought up only to die again, and for no reason, if you ask me either. I kinda refuse to believe that they were able to stand up against Symphogear users, they were able to stand up against gods, they were able to stand up against all sorts of things without much of an issue. But a nuke? Oh, no, well, that's gonna require the lives of 3 people. So, some things fuck you wacky with the power scaling, right? Like, dealing with a nuke should be just, as they said, grab it, point it upwards, and release it, and it flies into space. Or use the Ergetlam's duct tape to just cover it, let it explode, and carry the explosion into space, and then unveil the duct tape, and the like fallout can just go into the moon or on Mars or whatever. I don't know. It's the fact that the launch of the nuke makes no fucking sense, or at least I can't make any sense of it. And then the death of the 3 alchemists right now, it kind of like gets compounded because it kind of sort of feels like a last moment. Oh shit, we already resolved it in episode 12. Everything's been done. Fuck, but we haven't gone through any like redemption for the alchemists. Fuck, they were supposed to have a redemption arc. What do we do? What do we do? Let's I don't know. We kind of wrapped up the finale halfway through the episode, so instead of Hibiki's birthday party, we can make the alchemists sacrifice themselves because the US launched a nuke. Sure, good enough. Stump it up, send it to production. Right? It kind of sort of has that feeling. Hmm. Like, again, in isolation, as its own moment of sacrifice and of redemption, and Saint-Germain connecting back with Cagliostro and Prelati, and being able to do good to finally do something for the sake of humanity, right? As this poetic and narrative thing, it works. When it comes to the visuals, the animation, the everything like that, when you look at it in complete void, in complete isolation, it works. But then you start looking a little bit deeper into it and it kind of falls apart. Not gonna lie, it kind of falls apart. Alchemists, those who dedicate their lives to relentlessly pursue an ideal. Yeah, sure. And yeah, there's also the fact that those golden flakes are there from the nuke. Why is Adam sucking up nuclear golden snow? Or has the cloud of particles from the death of that god still been lingering somewhere? Maybe? They were encased in ice and for some reason can't break it, but sure. And then at last moment, Tiki attacks. This also sort of feels like an ass pull. Like, it's the last, I don't know, few minutes. It kind of feels like, oh shit, we're already about done with the episode, but we still have like 3 minutes left. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about Adam. Adam's still alive, right? How are we gonna solve it? How are we gonna solve it? Do we need like a battle with Adam now? No, let him be tackled by Tiki, and the weapon is gonna be destroyed by Hibiki. Like, sure, it works in, again, it works in isolation. Haha, funny comedic moment. Tiki tackles Adam. Tiki, haha, funny character, and it foils Adam's plans. But it's very self-contained. I think that's my issue with this bit. It's very self-contained. Oh no, Adam has the power. Oh no, Adam lost the power. Like, chop chop. Adam doesn't even do anything with it, doesn't even land a single attack, doesn't even blow up a building, nothing. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tired and being negative or something. That's why I want to avoid recording when I'm tired or sleepy or anything like that, because I know that I can turn into a bit of a negative Nancy when I'm like not at my peak condition, so to speak. But I don't feel tired. I don't think I don't feel sleepy. I just had my coffee. Am I being too harsh on it? Like tell me legit. If you think I'm being too harsh, tell me in the comments. Am I completely mistaken about something? Maybe it's the masterpiece of the cinema. I don't know. But it something doesn't sit right with me. And still, again, in isolation, narratively and all, it works. It's a cool animation on Hibiki's arm again, by the way. God-slaying power isn't as convenient to millennia of belief and malice form that philosophical armament did it? Or was it you just summoning a god? Because did you really need any preparations to summon that god, or did you just need a conjunction of planets? I thought killing people around and gathering souls was like a part of the plan, but no, it was just Saint-Germain counting her sins. So you can't say that it's been 2 millennia of collecting souls that made it possible. You just summoned a god from outer space. His face is great, though. His face of absolute and utter defeat and despair. That's amazing. And the voice actor as well is doing his best. Again, in isolation, great moment. In isolation, I love it. Some cool animation, some cool lines being said, some great art. The detailing on his face is amazing. I don't know what he's talking about here when it comes to the curse. Is he for real? Or is he just like, oh no, don't do it. If you do it, then you'll be cursed. No, don't. If you do it, then fuck. The fallout is gonna destroy your school. No, no. If you do it, then shit. I don't know. You're gonna go bold. See, it's a wig. I also went bold, right? Is he doing that? Is he trying to like save the situation with some talking, or is it legit a curse that's gonna befall Hibiki? I'll punch it apart. Yes, you will, Biki. Yes, you will. Here I thought it's gonna be the moment of the curse, right? Because I know we have episode 13 still left. Hibiki punches it, hoping that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna punch through it, I'm gonna destroy it, but oh no. It starts sucking her in. It starts transforming her arm. She's slowly turning into a different sort of a creature, right? I thought that's going to happen. Yeah, I love the art of his face. But no, she destroyed this arm. Stopped glowing, has the signature look of punching through dimensions. And it blew up, because of course it did. Those things always blow up. And the end. Nothing after credits. Very finale-like ending as well. With like full scrolling credits, no song, no visuals, just white text on black background, and everybody mentioned. Was episode 12 supposed to be a finale? Or did it, like, download wrong? Did it download wrong, maybe? $23.39, $23.40. It seems like they would be like 20 more seconds of this episode. Did I miss an after credits scene? Give me a moment. Nope. There seems to be no after credits scene after all. I even found some video on Facebook of all places, like full episode on Facebook. That was a couple minutes longer, but they were just minutes of black space. Also, Symphogear AXZ is listed on Mal as 13 times 23 minutes, so this showing me 24 minutes is just a lie. So the file has been corrupted, kinda, but just reports a different length than it actually is. Doesn't actually cut out any bit at the end. So that's the end of this episode. Hmm. Huh. Interesting. I have no idea what the finale is going to be, what episode 13 is going to be. Because for all intents and purposes, this episode was the end. Besides maybe the fact that Adam is still alive, that's a loose thread, vaguely so. But besides that, we got rid of the threat of Adam, we got rid of the threat of a god coming down. This was the finale. So I'm assuming the next episode, episode 13, is going to be essentially an extended after credits scene. The things that would usually be contained within an after credits scene. So we throw a party for Hibiki, and we go over how do we proceed with the US, who just tried to nuke Japan, what happened with Adam, rebuilding effort, things like that. That usually is shown, just at least a little bit of it in the after credits scene. There's just gonna be a whole episode of that. I'm not averse to that idea, like, don't get me wrong. I could use an episode of, maybe not necessarily downtime, but an episode of, we saved the world and now we get to talk about what just happened. We get to go over the lessons we've learned, things like that. What we gathered, what we gained, what we lost, what are we going to do now? I'm not averse to that idea. I really like it actually. But Symphogear never did that. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of very odd. It's kind of very odd. It's also odd because the ending, not the very ending, but near the end of this episode, very much felt like just at least a little bit of a setup for one more episode, right? Something's gonna happen that will warrant another episode. Oh no, Adam got power, we still have the final boss to defeat. That's what the episode 13 is gonna be like. Oh, Hibiki smashed Adam's weapon, but Adam speaks of some curse. So Hibiki is gonna get cursed, and in episode 13, we're gonna have to deal with that, right? Earlier, it was the alchemists joining us, joining forces with us, and perhaps in episode 13, we're gonna deal with them somehow. Perhaps in episode 13, we're gonna deal with the fallout of the nuke. Maybe they, I don't know, uh, contained the explosion somehow and they can't uncontain it. So Maria needs to stay awake and stay henshined to keep the explosion inside of Ergetlam's shield. And now we need to think fast what to do about it. Because Maria can stay awake for only so long, especially with so much strength being used to keep the shield up or whatever. Right? There were many moments in this finale, in this episode, that felt like a setup to what's gonna happen in the next episode, to what's gonna be the real finale. Right? Now we defeated Hibiki's monster form, and now, haha, there's another villain, there's another problem, and we're gonna have to deal with that, and that's gonna be the real finale. We're gonna have to go all X Drive mode. We're gonna see some new second henshins, all white and cool, and that's how it's gonna go to kill the god form of Adam or whatever. But all those moments were very much cut short, surprisingly so. Hmm. It's a weird episode because as I was watching it, I really did love it. It was great. I enjoyed myself. But then when I took time to go through some scenes and to think about some things a little deeper, things kind of started flaking off, kind of sorta. Like the thing with the nuke. It doesn't seem to me like a nuke is much stronger than the blast from a god, and they stopped the blast from a god, and they stopped so many other attacks and things, and yet they can't just deal with a regular boring old tech nuke. I don't know, but it was caused probably the nuke was because we needed the redemption arc to Saint-Germain, and apparently to Cagliostro and Prelati as well because they were alive all this time and they were returned only to die again to stop a nuke. Just a metal tube with a jet and some uranium inside, and three alchemists had to sacrifice their lives to stop that. It felt kind of like an asshole. Then there was the thing with what was it? There was something else in the meantime. Oh right, suddenly Adam, right? And it felt like a segue to episode 13 that we're gonna fight Adam finally. But no, Adam just got tackled by Tiki, and Hibiki just smashed the arm, and that was it. Was it though? She smashed the first god, the second god she also burst out of, and all of those left some god particles behind. So won't that arm being destroyed also leave some god particles that somehow will be able to suck up? Maybe they're gonna enter Hibiki again, maybe something else, maybe Tiki is gonna be the vessel. but there wasn't anything that would suggest so. Usually, if that would be the case, this episode would have ended with the god particles entering Hibiki again, or entering Tiki again, and everybody's shocked face, and boom, fade to ending. But that wasn't the case. The ending was very conclusive. I don't know what to think. I guess it's only after I see episode 13 that I'll be able to form a good and proper opinion in retrospect. Which is weird. You shouldn't need the knowledge of the next episode to form a full opinion on the previous episode. But I have a feeling that I need episode 13. Because if episode 13 is just like bit of slice of life dealing with the situation, talking about it and stuff like that, then I guess it's gonna feel a little better. But I would feel a little bit, just ever so slightly lied to as to what the finale is going to be. If episode 13 is going to be suddenly a new god, then why did we not get it as a segue in this episode? I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to sleep on it. Like, legit. Legit, I'm having very hard time forming an opinion about this episode. Because again, as I was watching it, it was great, but as I sit down to analyze it a little, it started flaking off. Maybe I missed some things. Maybe I misinterpreted some things. That's absolutely not out of the realm of possibility. If I did, I hope you will tell me in the comments below. No spoilers for like future seasons. No spoilers for the finale for episode 13. But if I did miss something, if I misunderstood something, do let me know because I'm genuinely curious. What happened in this episode that I'm having such weird time placing my feelings about it, I guess. Hmm. I think my biggest issue with this episode still is the alchemists. I really did want them to survive. I really did want them to join us. And I really was happy that Cagliostro and Prelati were brought back, but then they just died for no reason, which I guess is kind of par for the course for them. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. I'm just gonna end it here. But maybe you guys have something more to say about this episode. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. If you do want to talk spoilers, there's a Discord here also in the description. Join it. There is a Symphogear channel where you can go and use spoiler tags to talk spoilers about this series, and I'm not gonna read them, and everybody's gonna be happy. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Symphogear, but also Tensei Shitaraken Deshita, Management of a Novice Alchemist, Gundam Witch from Mercury, Arknight's Prelude to Dawn. I'm gonna be start watching Madoka Rebellion sometime in the future, or perhaps I've already seen it. Depends on whether you've watched this episode of Symphogear on YouTube or on Patreon. And chances are I already started watching shows from Winter 2023 season, so you might want to check them out as well. What's next? Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon Throne links in the description below. For $10 a month on Patreon, you can get early access to non-seasonal shows like Symphogear, like Madoka, and others. And for just $1, you get a role on the Discord, a place in the credits, and my gratitude. And on Throne, you can pitch indirectly towards my purchase of better gear, better software, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, costs you nothing, share my content, spread the word. It's completely free and helps the channel a lot. And now, with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. and here's the list of my patrons, and you can be one of them, and you don't need help of divinity to do that.